Hello, Gooby here. Today I'd like to talk about species narcissism. I've talked about narcissism in several videos. I find it very interesting because I think it lies at the heart of a lot of suffering that humans go through. And suffering that humans inflict on other living beings that we share the planet with. Narcissism is interesting because it's a way of living that would seem to help an individual survive. But in reality, it destroys the network that individual thrives in. The network that allows the individual to thrive. Narcissism it's a lie. It's a lie that tempts people to, hurt others, thinking that it's going to help themselves. But when you hurt others, you actually hurt yourself too. That's why I find it very interesting. It's a very subtle lie that is easy to fall for. Well, people talk about narcissism in relation to human-to-human relationships. That's a very common a common way to think about it, but maybe less common way to think about it is species narcissism. Taking the same concepts of interhuman relationships, developing narcissistic traits, to interspecies relationships with narcissistic traits. There was a memo published yesterday by Bill Gates, one of the wealthiest, very powerful humans alive today. A person that has wealth that most people can't even imagine living with. And connections and the world's smartest people at his fingertips, helping try to figure out stuff and solve problems. Well, yesterday, Bill Gates put out a memo saying that, we're not going to be stopping climate change. Global warming is not going to be stopped. So, and by the way, climate change is not apocalyptic. Humans will survive through this. So instead, we got to focus our efforts on relieving suffering. By doing that, or in order to do that, we got to focus on green energy and poverty and helping out people in poor living conditions. And I remember just reading this and thinking, wow. The supposed adults in the room. The person that has like the most money and influence and wealth, who is concerned about what humans are doing to our home, our one home, the Earth, says that the fight for, essentially saying that the fight for preserving our home can't be won. That we're going to change our home, and it's not going to be apocalyptic. I thought that was very interesting. It's very interesting because every time in the past, in Earth's geological history, where greenhouse gases increase the way that they are now because we've been burning a bunch of energy, fossil fuel, coal, oil, natural gas. and deforesting the earth. Those have released a whole bunch of greenhouse gases, CO2, methane plays a part in it. There's other greenhouse gases, but the other times in Earth's history where CO2 has been released in incredible quantities, like they are now, which were not human caused at those times. It could have been from volcanic activity, or just massive fires, well, usually from volcanoes. In the past, when that's happened, there's always been a mass extinction to varying degrees. So to say that climate change is not apocalyptic, that our CO2 increases are not apocalyptic, I think is not true. It's just not true. Will humans survive? Maybe. I don't even think that's a certainty. So, yeah, it's quite interesting for me to see someone with that intelligence and wealth pretty much throw in the towel, and also I think gaslight people into saying that that's not as big of a deal as we thought. I don't think that's the case. And I've talked about green energy. Green energy can help reduce some emissions, but green energy is built with fossil fuels. You can't build it without fossil fuels. You can't build wind turbines and solar panels without fossil fuels. So it doesn't solve the problem. So what would solve the problem? Well, I don't know exactly, but I think it has something to do with how we relate to ourselves and the other beings on this planet that we share this earth with. How we relate to the earth. I think we have a species narcissism. Narcissism is when you put yourself above all others and you view others as less than yourself, and because of that you can hurt and destroy others. And in fact, you don't even recognize that you're hurting and destroying others because they aren't other beings, they're just things. They don't have personhood. You remove the personhood. The only person is yourself when you're a narcissist. So you aren't even aware that you're hurting others. And you don't allow yourself to become aware. Well, as a species, I think that we have adopted this. We have put ourselves, human beings, above all others. The only persons, the only people that are living on this planet, according to civilization, are humans. Everything else that's alive is not a being. It's not a person. They're its. They don't have rights. They don't have desires. They don't have livelihood or well-being or needs. They are just it. These things are for humans to live on, to use however they want. That's what I mean by species narcissism. Well, if you follow what happens to a narcissist and the community they live in, a human community, it's pretty shocking what happens. The community gets torn apart. Some people in the community adopt the view, the world view, the relationship view of the narcissist, and hurt others, and don't even think they're hurting others. It can happen on a family level. It can happen on a city or town level or village level. It can happen on a nation level, or it can happen on an international level, where someone thinks, or someone or some nation thinks that they are it. That's no one else really matters, and they can do whatever they want to hurt others. Well, the thing that happens with that is that everybody else who is a person sees this and says, wow, that person's a real jerk and a bully and very hurtful, and doesn't even realize how hurtful they are. Well, we gotta like stay away from that person and try to protect ourselves, our community, isolate ourselves if we can from that person, because they're bad news. They're very destructive. But oftentimes you cannot escape this narcissist, because the narcissist accumulates incredible power over their community, over their environment, because they're willing to destroy and hurt and not live in harmony. So in that way, narcissists become unavoidable to some extent. You have to figure out how to coexist with somebody who doesn't want to coexist. It rips communities apart. It destroys them. It destroys the core, the soul, the harmony. Well, that is what I see with humans and each other, but all other human beings, but also humans and other species. I think that this problem with sleepwalking in a mass extinction, another mass extinction, is because we think of ourselves as the only important being on this planet, which is not true. We are ripping apart our community, our global community, our biome. We are related to all the other animals and plants and fungi and bacteria. We're related to the sky, the clouds, the rain, the rivers, the ocean, the fish. We can't survive without them. They're people too. They have needs and desires. They have rights, like we have rights. They have lives. They're beings. I think the solution to this mass extinction / climate / environmental destruction / capitalist hellhole dystopia is to relate again to all the other living beings that we share this planet with as people like we are. Like this short fern wants to say hi to me while I'm talking, and I appreciate the sword fern. Hello, sword fern. Sword fern has mouth like we have mouth. It's got many mouths. The stomata on the bottom of the leaves that breathe in the air. This plant breathes in the CO2 and releases oxygen. Thank you, plant. Without this plant, I could not survive. Well, without plants in general, I would not be alive, because there wouldn't be oxygen. It'd be like Mars. Mars is 96% CO2. We wouldn't be able to breathe the atmosphere there. we would die very quickly. But I'm able to breathe the air here thanks to all these trees and plants. And I'm really grateful for all of you, trees and plants. Thank you. There's salal behind me that has berries in the summertime, and that plant right there is a huckleberry plant. The wispy, small oval leaves is a huckleberry plant that has very delicious berries in midsummer, early to midsummer. And I'm very grateful. I'm grateful to be alive with all of these trees and hear the birds. See sky with beautiful clouds. Have the sun warm the day. I'm very grateful for that. So I disagree with Bill Gates that I think it is apocalyptic. I mean, it's a question whether humans will actually survive what we are doing to the planet. And why are we doing that? And I think it has to do with how we view ourselves and our relationship to the planet and everything else. There's a lie that we've been telling ourselves that we can survive on our own. We can't. We're just one animal amongst many. Some people even chafe at the idea of calling humans animals. Well, we're not animals. Well, yeah, we are. We've been around not that long compared to a lot of other animals. We've been around 0.3 million years, or 300,000 years. Modern humans. Now, there's hominid ancestors. Prior to us, but modern Homo sapiens have been around about 0.3 million years. Now, if you look at an animal like a horseshoe crab has been around 500 million years, like 300 million years. Yeah. Or it might have been 500 million years. But it's such a big number, between like 300 or 500 million years. I mean, that's older than dinosaurs. It's older than trees. Before trees existed. It's before flowering plants. I mean, the horseshoe crab's been around a long time. I think we could learn something from the horseshoe crab. That it's a gift to be alive on this planet. It's a gift to be one of this living community on this rock circling the sun that's on the outer edge of the Milky Way galaxy, which is a small galaxy floating through the universe, spinning through the universe. It's amazing. It's amazing to be alive. I am very grateful to be alive. And I'm very grateful to be with all the other living creatures. I think that is, well, including mosquitoes. There's a mosquito. Hi, mosquito. But I don't want you to suck my blood, please. Interesting to see a mosquito this late in the season. I mean, there used to be a lot more bears and wolves, but we killed them all. And not all, but we killed a bunch. Yeah. I think that's where the solution to this problem lies, is in relating to the living world as beings like we are. I think everything else kind of like falls into place. Well, how does it fall into place? Well, I guess I could make some more videos about that, but I think it all starts from there. if you view the other living beings that we share the planet with as equal, we're not above bacteria and fungi and mushrooms and sword ferns and Douglas fir trees and birds and doggies and wolves and mosquitoes and bears. We're not above them. We're here with them. I think we would make a lot of choices differently. Many choices would be done differently. Yeah, what choices do you think would be done differently? I'd be interested to hear what you all think. Well, that's it for this video. But I'm feeling inspired to make more videos about this train of thought. But I'd be interested to hear what you have to say. Bye. I'll show you Doobie. Doobie is here too. She's just exploring. Hey girl, you want to say hi to the channel? You have anything you want to say? Yep, I think she just wants to go sniff and explore and be in the sword ferns.